Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new Paint and Talk, and this time I want to talk about the news that we have from Games Workshop, and I want to talk about two different things that Games Workshop just announced or just shared with us. One is the FAQs, and the other one is the announcement that they did today. So first of all, I think Games Workshop is doing more and more steps to engage with the community, to asking for feedback, and to and to have more involvement of the community in the design. Of course, some people will disagree, will not like, but I think is a great step. Maybe they couldn't be done this before, but we say in Spanish that it's never late if it's done for a good purpose. So we say, yeah, if you're doing this, they couldn't come earlier, but don't complain because it's coming late. At least it's here, and make use of this, and if you are happy with what they're doing now, give the thank you. Don't always complain that this couldn't be done before. This is more or less what this this type of sentence wants to say in Spanish, no? So let's go first to the FAQs. I think for me they are not very surprising. I was wondering, the one that for me was more unclear, that was not very clear in the rules, was the summoning. They clarify very well. Now you can summon what you want, and this is what I was understanding. I think the rules were able to think in both directions. So in that you only can summon what you have on the table, or you can summon anything. To be fair, I'm not surprised from the answer from Games Workshop. I think if you are by summoning what you want, you are not limiting the use of the miniatures at all. And I think the purpose of Age of Sigmar is try to limit as less as possible the use of the miniatures. And I think Games Workshop always is aiming for that in Age of Sigmar and also in Warhammer 40k. What is very interesting is that they're asking for feedback, and I think this is great. So if you don't like the FAQ, give the feedback back to Games Workshop. And I guess, if at the end they don't change the rule, don't complain. Maybe there is other people that have positive feedback on that rule and they prefer it in that way. So at the end, not all the community sees the rules and sees the impacts of the rules in the same direction. Some people will think that something is good, and some other people will be happy and they will like the rules. So I guess it's going to be a hard job for Games Workshop even asking for feedback, because they will not be able to accomplish with all your expectations, because your expectations are not the same than the gamer that is just next to you. So they will need to arrive to compromises, and also they will need to align this with, of course, with their sales strategy at the end, because at the end they do all this to sell miniatures. We should not forget that. But the other announcement that for me it's more amazing, it's that the last announcement that in summer they will relaunch Age of Sigmar in such a way, or they will launch 3 ways to play Age of Sigmar. And I will stop just painting to read what I have on my screen. So one is called open play. So collect your forces and battles, so you just play with what you want. Then we have the narrative play. Recreate the great battles of the age, and then it soon looks like more a narrative way. And then they have the match play, balance and technically challenge, designed for tournaments and competitive. And they say that's right, points and all. And then what is very important, there is more explanation out of here. So for example, in one place is probably the most similar to the way you play now, and I'm going to think most of the people is playing like that, but there are new rules on the way to give you even more freedom, including the option for huge multiplayer battles. So this is going to be interesting. It looks like they are looking also in this open play to open the option for multiplayer. So new rules to have more than one player at the same time on the table. Then the narrative is as you expected, recreating the great histories and epic encounters from Age of Sigmar to help you forge your own stories within the mortal realms. There are also some really cool campaign rules and tools in the way as well. And I think, to be fair, I think this is what they do with the Age of Sigmar campaign books. If you read the Realm Gates and you follow the Realm Gates, because most of the work is about, it's most of the campaigns. There are a lot of battle plans, and I think, I will say today, the open play it's done, and narrative play it's what you can play. But the next one today is not. There are not official rules, and is finally match play is something we know a lot of you have keen to see. So you see, they know that people was asking for this point system, and I know some people will complain, some people will not like, because the polling I see, once you have point systems, I don't know why, but people forgot about the other way of playing the games. Once we have points, I'm pretty sure people will forget about the narrative and will forget about the open play. And I think this is the main complaint of the people that don't like points, is because once you have points on the table, people just focus on the points and on this part. I hope, let's see what happens with the community, but I think most of the community will shift to this way of playing. So we've put these rules together in association with some of the world's biggest tournament organizers to create a new standard for balanced competitive. And this is for me the most amazing thing. They claim that they work with the competitive community, with the tournament organizers, to make a point system. It's the first time, I think, ever that Games Workshop claim that they're using an organization that is not in the Games Workshop structure to create rules for the games, to make official rules for the games. And I also know from other sources that they are using today the shops and the games in the shops to test play rules. So maybe you don't know, but when you participate in a small Games Workshop tournament at the Games Workshop stores, at the same time that you are playing, you are testing rules. So, and this is the way I think Games Workshop today is testing the rules. Is using the players, and is using the feedback, and is using all the crew they have in the different stores and the different shops to test the rules. So I think it's quite a clever, because then the base and the number of games and the number of plays and the number of feedback, it's pretty big. On top, now they are also using the TOs, and they are also using the tournaments to test some of the rules. So I think Games Workshop really have changed the way of managing the business. They changed their politics on communication that I think they were in the past century for too much time. And when they say the past century, I mean they were in the 19th century, not even in the 20th, because the 20th was more communicative than what Games Workshop was doing at the end. But I think now they are doing a huge step forward on communication, and I think they are doing just the right way to do it. They try to fulfill the three different type of game styles. For me, the main concern is, and this is based on my experience, once you have the option to play with points and to play without points, most of the players, especially for when you go to the shop, the easy way, because we are lazy on that way, we don't spend time to prepare a campaign in most of the times. We just say, okay, let's play a game of 1,000 points, and this is the way we play to the 40k. Just say, I will play 1,800 points, and then everybody is organizing the points, and then we always sometimes you apply some cons on top of that. So very curious to see how the community also evolve after all these changes, because it's not only Games Workshop that is changing. These changes, of course, will impact the way we play and the way we interact with the rest of the community. So I'm very curious to see how this is moving forward. So far, I'm really happy with the steps that Games Workshop is doing. I think they are doing the steps in the right direction. I think Games Workshop should communicate and should use more the media. Media today can be your killer, or can be the way that you improve your company, and all depends on how you use the media and how clever you are using the media. I think now they are using the media in more clever way, asking for feedback, not closing the doors to the community, and I think this is the way to go. And yeah, and very important to know that if you want to give feedback on the facts, they claim that they will read the feedback, and as I say, not all the feedback can be taken into account, because maybe you say, for example, on the rule that if you compile in Mystic Shields on the same unit, some people will say, okay, I feel that you can do it, and some people will say, no, I don't like this rule. So at the end they have to take a compromise, and not everybody will be happy on that. And you can argue, and they will, on most of the rules, there will always be arguments in both directions. So yeah, that's all what I want to say, I think, on that topic. I'm very happy with what Games Workshop is doing. I think it's really interesting that they are doing all these steps. Very curious to see, also very curious to see how the points will work, how they will work, the way to apply the points. Because it's going to be a live system where they will keep updated. They will create a database in somewhere in the net. It's going to be a new book with all the points. So this is going to be very curious to see how they will apply these points. Or they will create a big, because if you create a big tome with all the points, yeah, once you have the next release, you have to create points again and again and again. So I'm very curious to see how they will deploy the point system and what is going to be the way they put the points. So let's see how all this is done by Games Workshop. I think they are doing the right steps. So if they start engaging the community together with these super nice miniatures, I think they have a good formula to keep producing and to change the tendency of losing market. So yeah, now curious to see how all these changes will impact on the end of the fiscal year numbers. So that's all for now, what I want to talk. Please let me know what do you think. Let me know if you like points or you don't like points on Age of Sigmar. Let me know what do you think about the FAQs that they are deploying. Yeah, and as usual, like if you like it, subscribe if not subscribe it, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye.